Welcome to Inside the Black Box, where we peer into the hidden machinery of modern AI and try to understand how meaning and reasoning emerge from math. I'm Arshavir Blackwell. Today we're taking things in a slightly different direction. Up to now we've been peering into large language models, mapping their circuits, tracing attention heads, and asking what really goes on inside. But there's a tougher question underneath all that curiosity. Once you can see what's happening under the hood, can you actually fix it? Or are we just standing by, watching strange behaviors march past? Today's episode is about that next step, debugging a model from the inside out. This is where interpretability turns into something closer to engineering. It's not just about observing what the model thinks. It's about intervening when it stumbles and learning how to set it right. Take a few quick examples. A model that takes everything too literally. You say, "Lend me a hand," and it starts imagining limb sharing. Say, "Kick the bucket," and it confidently explains a leg exercise routine. It's funny until it happens in medicine or law. These aren't random slips. They reveal how the model organizes meaning. With idioms, internal detectors light up for kick and bucket separately, but nothing binds them into to die. That's weak multi-token binding. Sparse autoencoders or induction head analysis can pinpoint where that connection fails. Metaphors show the same weakness. The stock market caught a cold. Instead of mapping that to the market's weak, some models report influenza detected among traders. The bridge between health and economics. Gone. And the classics. Can you pass the salt? Yes, I can pass the salt. Syntax understood, social intent missed. Or, the trophy doesn't fit into the suitcase because it's too small. Flip small to big, and many models still swap the referent. Once you start looking, these misfires are everywhere. But they're not noise, they're clues. They show us how the internal machinery is wired and where it breaks down. So how do you debug a model? That's where mechanistic interpretability shows its power. Step 1. Elicit the failure. Collect examples. Find the pattern. Step 2. Locate the relevant features. Sparse autoencoders act like microscopes for activations, revealing clusters that light up on idioms or metaphors. Then comes activation patching. Tools like AC/DC, automated circuit discovery and correction, let you transplant activations from successful cases into failed ones. If swapping activations from layer 8, head 3 makes the model interpret kick the bucket correctly, you've likely found a circuit for figurative language. But correlation isn't causation. That's where Redwood Research's causal scrubbing comes in. You deliberately disrupt that circuit and see whether the behavior breaks, while everything else stays stable. If it does, you've found the cause. Once you know the culprit, you can edit directly. Other techniques let you adjust weights surgically, repairing associations without retraining the entire model. Of course, real debugging isn't tidy. Circuits overlap, causal effects blur. Fixes that work in one domain collapse in another. Interpretability takes rigor, but it also takes intuition. And not every odd output is an error. Sometimes it's a sign of creativity. When a model rephrases a garden path sentence to make it clearer, that's not failure. It's linguistic insight. Here's where it gets fascinating. A transformer isn't one big mind. It's a network of subnetworks. Each subnetwork contributes its own computation, syntax parsing, factual recall, metaphor resolution, pronoun tracking. They're distinct but interconnected, like specialized teams in a vast organization. Each can be studied, visualized, even conceptualized on its own terms. Seen this way, a transformer isn't a single black box. It's a federation of smaller intelligences working together. Anthropic's Transformer Circuits project made this vividly clear. Grammar heads, recall heads, reasoning heads, they form coherent internal communities. The model becomes less of a monolith and more of an ecosystem of cooperating modules. And the ecosystem studying those modules is expanding fast. Sparse autoencoders now extract stable, interpretable features. Neuronpedia and SAE Bench let researchers annotate and share discoveries, a public atlas of model internals. DeepMind's Gemma scope puts billion-parameter interpretability on a laptop. Debugging is no longer the privilege of a few elite labs. It's becoming a discipline open to anyone with curiosity and persistence. Still, the big puzzles remain. Superposition and drift. Features overlap and shift during training. Translation. Each model speaks its own internal dialect. And large-scale editing. How to tweak trillion-parameter systems without setting off unpredictable ripples elsewhere. These issues persist because neural networks weren't designed to be legible. We're reverse engineering emergent intelligence, a structure that evolved its own logic. Until architectures are transparent by design, that sense of digital archaeology isn't going away. But that's exactly what makes the work exciting. Mechanistic interpretability is where curiosity becomes control, where we move from, let's see what happens, to, let's make it happen. And beyond the lab, this matters for everyone. The more transparent these systems become, the more we can trust them, and the more they'll teach us about intelligence itself. Artificial or human, the patterns are starting to rhyme. If you're experimenting with any of these techniques, or others, please share your findings. This field advances through collaboration. Every circuit mapped, every subnetwork clarified, brings us one step closer to understanding and shaping the minds we've built. Thanks for listening to Inside the Black Box. If you enjoyed this episode, consider subscribing on Substack or your favorite podcast app. You'll find show notes, research links, and visual diagrams at arshavirblackwell.substack.com. I'm Arshavir Blackwell. See you next time, when we'll open another corner of the machine mind and see what's thinking inside.